Hello guys, Dividend Enjoyer here. And today I'm going to be taking you guys through my $45,392.18 stock portfolio. I'm going to be going from my lowest valued positions up to my highest valued positions and kind of giving you guys a breakdown of why I like that business or what I'm thinking about with that business. Remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research before buying anything. Let's just get right into it. So, as you guys can see, on an unrealized basis, I'm down about $5,054.78. This is because I refuse to sell out of a business that I believe is still undervalued. In Salesforce, I've ridden it all the way down. It's been a lot lower in the past, but I just refuse to sell. I'm not buying anymore because I want to put money into other things currently, but I'm just going to hold my shares. Unrealized loss, not selling them, obviously. Realized gains, though, for the past 2 years have been about $2,974.53. And then if you also add our dividend payments that I've received, $1,281.26, which has been kind of distributed either across the portfolio or taken in for my own personal account, leaving me with a grand total of negative $798.99. I'm not freaking out. It was bad timing, and I've still been buying pretty consistently. I think that long term, these businesses are going to do well, and that's what I'm really trying to invest for because I feel like that's the easiest one to make money. It just takes the longest. That's really the con, is that you have to be extremely patient with a lot of these businesses, and it's not going to happen overnight. Like most of these I've been holding for at least a year, probably going to continue to hold them for even longer. I don't plan on selling really anything right now. Really wish I had more money so I could buy more, but it is what it is. I love times like these when everything's down and then you get great deals and then the deals go away and then everyone's like, oh man, you could have bought this at this price. But anyways, let's get into the first stock on the list. We got Amazon, ticker symbol AMZN. Currently, Amazon is valued in my position at $999.13. So very close to $1,000 there. Currently, this says that on an unrealized basis, it's up $103.86. That's not really telling you the full story because this Amazon position was actually just profits from where I had bought Amazon at. So the overall cost, I think, for this position is $895.27. I believe that the realized gain from Amazon in my past 2 years' performance has been over 900. So this position is literally just pure profit, compounding year after year as Amazon does better and better. It's already paid for itself, and eventually I can just sell it off and collect the cash whenever I need it. So I like to just let that one sit there, and that is a very enjoyable position for me because I bought a lot of Amazon when it was very low, and then I actually was able to get out of it when it was even higher. I think I was able to sell out of the majority of my position at 247 a share. So I made a decent amount of money, kept it in, and now it's done even better. I wish I would have held more of it, not sold as it was coming up, but it felt like the right thing to do, you know? I mean, it was kind of nerve-wracking to see Amazon just continue to climb and climb. I definitely was glad that I offloaded when I did. I wish I would have had more to have sold at the higher price. I wish I would have held a little bit steadier and not sold as it was coming up. But it is what it is. And, that's one that I'm probably not going to ever sell. I'll probably just hold this position for a while until it gets to a crazy amount of money. Then maybe I'll sell half of it and then just let it sit again and let it grow and grow and grow and see where Amazon's at. Or maybe I just hold this position and keep it for a long period of time. Maybe I let it get to a double or a triple. I'm sure eventually Amazon will double or triple given enough time. I mean, they're pursuing so many high growth projects and so many different things that I could see the market cap just exploding if they hit a really good quarter or do something really surprising. So, again, not financial advice, but I like having this position that's just basically completely paid for because there's no pressure on it. And if it just grows to an insane amount of money, I'm very happy. Obviously, I wish I would have kept my original shares because then it would be like a fortune. But I'm just going to keep this amount in here, not have to pay taxes until I sell out of it, and enjoy my life because I think that this position is pretty strong. I think Amazon, I'm bullish on it in the long term. Maybe I'll want to add more. I'd like it around the 220 levels, probably, or 210 even. But I doubt we'll see those prices again. And I don't know. I just really enjoy this position just because it reminds me that I did well on it. And, this is a reward, is this $999 position. So it's going to continue to grow as Amazon continues to grow. And I'm going to be happy to hold it as an investor for the long term. Moving on to the next position in the portfolio, it is Microsoft. I've made money off of Microsoft throughout the years, but I really wish I would have held it every single time I've sold it. So I'm not ever selling this Microsoft position. I really want to hold it until I get to a target value, and then maybe I'll sell a certain percentage of it. Currently, I'm looking at Microsoft as one of the businesses actually that I take my VICI dividend and apply to, but I'm also looking at Mastercard as well. I think that Microsoft is a behemoth. I think it's very strong. I think it's one of those businesses that every time I've bought it, I've just made a huge mistake whenever I've sold it. I wish I would have just held it. I wish I would have held it all these years. It'd be wonderful. Even at the current price off of its 52-week high, I think that this business is just so strong. And I think that this business has legs, meaning that it can continue for years and years and years. Microsoft is an amazing business. Microsoft is an amazing company, and it's a very strong company. So I like Microsoft in my portfolio. I think that it's extremely monopolistic. I think that it's going to be able to continue to grow the amount of money that they're making. And I think that they're going to figure this thing out. I think that they've got top tier talent. And I think that they're very intelligent. So I think that they're going to make the correct moves where they need to. And we'll see what happens. I'm happy to own it though. Even if it goes down more, that's just an opportunity to buy. Moving on to Visa, you guys can see here I'm up $178.82 on an unrealized gain loss. This stock has totally flipped around. I remember this was mostly flat. Now it's come up a lot. At one point, I was negative a pretty significant amount on it. And I just continued to buy more just because I knew that this was a very high quality business that I wanted in my own portfolio. And it was very smart of me to have added it to the portfolio. I'm very glad I did. I think that Visa, Mastercard, and American Express are all extremely monopolistic. These are three businesses that I really want to own in my own personal portfolio. And I think that I'm going to actually decide to either buy more Visa or Mastercard. I know that Visa has had a better run, but I feel like Mastercard is actually the better value, despite being technically the smaller and worst performing company over the past couple of years that I've been an investor in both. So I feel like I'm getting more bang for my buck reinvesting my VICI dividend into Mastercard over anything else, just because I feel the most certain about it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel very certain that Mastercard is going to be able to do well. I think the real value of Mastercard is a lot higher, but I want to do a stock analysis video first before I actually receive the VICI dividends, just to kind of calculate where I think Mastercard should be at. But my instinct is to invest more money into Mastercard currently. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at Take Two as well. Mastercard, I'm down $91.56 on. I think it's very similar to Visa in the business model. I really like both of them very much. But Mastercard has been underperforming, which makes me think that I'm getting a lot better of a deal on it than I would be with buying Visa, even though Visa's done better more recently from being a shareholder. But I think that that just makes me want to double down more on Mastercard and then reduce Visa, right? Because their business is very, very similar, unless Visa is somehow just taking more of Mastercard's business. I think that with the Vici dividend, I think it would make the most sense to go into Mastercard over anything else, personally. Just looking at all the businesses that I have right now and like the pricing, because I was really thinking about this, guys. I was like looking at every single stock, And I wanted to make this like a dramatic part of the video where I really break it down and kind of think about it and talk about it, because I was literally thinking about every single one of these, right? I was thinking about like what is the best possible value to put this little small amount of $200 into if I wanted to maximize potential returns with like risk in mind. I was literally thinking about it and I was like, Mastercard seems so cheap relative to the valuation that Visa is on where I bought both of them. And overall, just out of all of the stocks that I have here, I feel like Mastercard has the best chances of returning better. I mean, I think some of them are better in terms of like the actual value, but I feel like the risk to reward ratio on Mastercard is actually the best compared to all of these stocks. Because for like Take Two, for example, right? They have to perform well for GTA 6. You have Uber, where there's like a bunch of question marks in the air because they were trying to replace people with AI. There's just a lot of changing technology. There's a lot of risk there. That's a very quick moving industry. It really is kind of a almost a fintech type of business, very kind of out there type of software business, ecosystem of drivers, just very risky compared to some of these other ones. You have American Express, which I'm up 769 on. And for that one, it's obviously run up a lot. The premium's gotten a lot higher compared to MasterCard and compared to Visa as well. And then next, you have Salesforce, which has just been completely nuked. But I think that's actually also pretty good value. I've thought about buying more. I just feel a little bit overexposed because I've thrown 13,500 into it and now it's worth 9,000. But that makes me think I should double down and buy more. But at the same time, I think that having more MasterCard would also be really nice to just have more of that. Because if that payment processing gets built up, that's going to just continue to have network effects that continue to make me money over time. And I think the compound annual growth rate of their dividend is pretty decent. Maybe I can research it during this part, or maybe I didn't add it. Sorry if I didn't. Yeah, I think that having MasterCard, having Visa, having American Express all be really big parts of my portfolio is important to me, because I think that all three of those businesses are very monopolistic. I think that they're very strong. I think that they all do different, or I think that they all do kind of similar things, but I think that there's not very much good competition that can really disrupt them. And I think that they're going to be around for years and years and years. I think that their business model is very intelligent. And I really like these businesses. I think that they're doing very well. I like American Express a little bit more, I'll be honest, just because they own the debt. But yeah, I don't know. I've been happy with all my investments. I think all of them are going to do pretty well. Talking about Uber, though, that stock I'm down 630 bucks on. Again, very complicated business. A lot of AI stuff going on over there. But I think the long term trend is going to be that new generations use more and more Ubers. I think that Uber Eats is going to become more widely adopted over time. I think that it's just going to all be more normalized. And I think that that's going to lead to higher and higher revenue. I also think you're going to have innovation in terms of like delivery servicing. I think you're going to see a lot of disruptions and interesting things. It's going to cause better and better efficiencies, but I also could see negatives coming in. Like maybe certain countries want Uber to provide certain insurance to employees or certain benefits that would be negative for their cash flows. So I could see it going both ways. I think that Uber eventually is going to have drones that are able to make deliveries, and that's going to be something that helps them as well. But this business has been doing well. I think that it's very valuable. I think that once we get self driving, that's going to help them too. But there's a lot of question marks for sure. This one might be my most questionable investment, in my opinion. I think, yeah, Uber is the one that maybe I overpaid for, just being honest with you. And it is what it is, though. I'm going to hold it. I still think that it's true that over the long period of time, I still think that my thesis is going to hold up, that given a long enough period of time, more and more people are going to be ordering Ubers, and Uber's just going to make more and more money. That's my personal opinion on it, and we'll see what happens. If I'm down, I'm down. I'm not selling. I don't care. and I'm going to hold all of my stocks, and I'm going to hoard more. Once I have more money coming in, once I just keep chugging along and just keep patiently waiting, keep being disciplined, keep doing the right things financially. And once I have more money, I'm just going to continue buying more and more of these. I'm just going to continue hoarding them up, getting better and better dividend payments every single month. I just got to save, and it is what it is. I wish I could buy more. You just got to save. You just got to do the right things financially, and the right things will happen. So I think that all these businesses are doing fine. VICI, it shows the unrealized gain loss amount, but it's paid me about $800 in dividends, and it'll come back. I might actually even just reinvest it back into more shares.